Up next is Mr. Mark Bounds. Mr. Mark Bounds is the Deputy Superintendent of the South Carolina Department of Education, Division of School Effectiveness. He has served as the Deputy Superintendent since October of 2006, first serving as Deputy Superintendent for Educator Quality and Leadership, and now as the Deputy Superintendent for School Effectiveness. In his current position, Mark oversees school transformation efforts, teacher professional development, the educator preparation system, the educator certification system, the educator evaluation system, teacher induction and support programs, teacher recruitment, teacher recognition, virtual learning initiatives, and educator leadership programs for the state. Yeah, everything. Mark has also had a distinguished career as an officer in the United States Army, having served the nation for 20 years. Welcome, Mr. Mark Bounds.
All right. Well, I should have been a dropout. My mom and dad, neither one of them finished high school. I have one brother and one sister, and neither finished high school as well. So I knew the personal toll that not completing high school takes on a family and on individuals, and I've watched my brother and sister struggle, and my dad, for that matter, as they always, all of them really smart people, but just the system didn't serve them well. So this is personal to me. The fact that we're not talking, we are talking about apples. We're talking about actual students that every day walk away from the school system and don't get a chance at a rich and full life. So I'm glad to be here today to take part in this really important discussion. I was asked to make a few brief comments on where we stand and what's working in South Carolina. As I thought about that question, it was clear to me we're not standing at all. We're moving. There's sufficient energy and effort being expended to improve the graduation rate here in South Carolina, and I'm excited that we are moving and heading in the right direction. We're all in the boat and we're all paddling in the right direction, but I am concerned that we're not moving quickly enough. Every day we delay in creating an environment where every student has an opportunity for a rich and full educational experience is a day where a student might walk away and risk their future success. I want you to think about the statistics, that were said here earlier today. And as we're sitting in this room, the number of students are making a decision not to go back to school tomorrow. We have a long journey ahead, and even though we're making progress, there's still far too many students who don't get that chance to walk across that graduation stage. I want you all to think about that moment when you got your diploma and how awesome you felt, and what a shame it is that young people don't get that feeling. Now, you've all heard the expression, knowledge is power. Well, I believe that's only half true. Knowledge is meaningless without action. We've known for some time that children in South Carolina drop out at an alarming rate, but that knowledge did not put one diploma in a student's hands. We must act, and I noted that the theme of this conference is let's make it happen. That's what it's all about. Not learning, not reading the data, but doing something about it when we see that data in front of us. Now, forums like this are important. They bring people together with a common goal and highlight our need to transform schools. But if we leave here today and don't act, all this time and effort is wasted. We've made progress. Last year, 49 of 86 districts in South Carolina experienced a decline in the dropout rate, but not every district and not every school provided the programs and services necessary to help every student. To solve this problem, we have to leverage the skills and abilities and talents of schools, community organizations, our faith community, businesses, and of course our parents. This is not something that can be done by yourself. When I was in the Army, I had a sergeant major who had a great way of visualizing this. He said, we're all fingers, and we all have an important capability, and each one is important. But how much stronger we are when we come together. And that's what we need to do here today and from now on. Come together with a common cause of graduating every student in South Carolina. Many of you know that I was the State Director for Communities and Schools of South Carolina, and I loved that job that focused on making sure that every student graduated from high school. I know the value of bringing together a network of professionals that are passionate and engaged community members who work together to empower students to stay in school and achieve in life. They go together, stay in school and achieve in life. We're doing some wonderful things here in South Carolina, but we're just getting started. Here are some things that are working in South Carolina and some things that we're working on. And you'll have to excuse because some of them really echo the things that, that both Dr. Zais and Dr. Drew said earlier. But charter schools is one. Charter schools created for the right reasons with a tailored approach that solve community problems will provide a pathway for success for many students. So we need to focus, continue our focus on charter schools. At last count, we were rated 19th in the country on our charter school environment, but I'm telling you we can do better. Virtual learning opportunities. The virtual learning helps in two major ways. First, it provides a different learning environment for remediation. Many students that don't succeed in a brick and mortar classroom have a second chance at learning that same material, and they won't give up. But virtual learning also provides a pathway for students that are disenfranchised with the traditional school setting. They may feel that they don't fit in a traditional setting. They may have the intellectual capacity to move faster than other students. They may need to work a different schedule at school because they need to work for their families. Whatever the reason, virtual learning will keep more children in school and keep more children to graduate from high school. These virtual learning offerings can be embedded in the school system, in a traditional school system as a course, or can be part of a standalone virtual school. Either way, they provide a menu of choice for students and parents. The next, as Dr. Zais said, we need to shift away from seat time and focus on knowledge acquisition in our traditional schools as well as our charter schools. Gone are the days when all knowledge was found at the public school or public library. That's the way it was when I was coming up. If you wanted to learn something, you went to the public school or the public library. There is a proliferation of learning agents today. I mean, I can take a course on my hip. And so we need to acknowledge that students are learning in new and different ways. Students who demonstrate mastery have to move on to the next challenge. Forcing students to sit and listen to material they already know is a recipe for disaster. We've had great success in South Carolina with the Education and Economic Development Act. It has helped us understand that there's a job waiting for every student if we properly prepare them. But we can do more. We must acknowledge and elevate the careers that are not college careers. We must lift them up and so that every student says that that is a good career choice and not feel like a second-class citizen. Did you know that of the 30 occupations expected to provide the largest number of jobs in the next decade, 23 do not require college degrees? Students that choose technical and skilled jobs should not feel like second-class citizens. We must continue to find business partnerships that are wins for students, wins for businesses, and wins for the state economy. We see these great partnerships taking shape in South Carolina around our aviation industry and our automobile industry. Our students must graduate with the skills and work ethic needed to fill our state's most pressing jobs. In our Office of Leader Effectiveness, we're helping principals and other school leaders understand that solutions of the past will not serve our students of the future. I've never seen a school transformed without a great leader. And so part of the solution for the dropout problem must be to select, to train, and retain great principals in all of our schools. As Dr. Zais also said, we need to focus on literacy. Absolutely critical. Why are students taking other courses when they can't read yet? We've got to get down and make sure that every student enters the 4th grade ready to read. And finally, we need to give districts and schools flexibility for a local response. The department must be an incubator for great ideas and must be available to help districts and schools. We should help connect schools and districts that have similar problems across our state. But we should not direct programs from Columbia. You know what can best serve your local students, and we should free you up to do the things you need to do to make a difference. I love this quote from Melvin Evans. It said, "Men and women that build the future are those that know that greater things are yet to come, and they themselves will help bring them about. Their minds are illuminated by the blazing sun of hope. They never stop to doubt. They haven't the time." You know that greater things are yet to come, and we can't stop. We don't have time to doubt. We need to move out. Thank you for this opportunity to help kick off this summit. I know you'll gain lots of information from the speakers and the programs here today, but my challenge to you is to act on this knowledge so that every student knows the awesome feeling of walking across that graduation stage. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.